terms of expenditure, I'd probably say a lot of it will go to rent.
20,000 Australian dollars to last those 6 months. And for a family, double than that, so not even like 35.
To live an okay lifestyle, maybe 85,000 to 90,000.
Right.
If you go out one night, it's at least $100. I think for dinner, for drinks, and an Uber.
مساء الخير يا جماعه، بتمنى تكونوا بصحه وسعاده وبخير. النهارده يا جماعه عندنا تجربه مختلفه، وهي ان انا سجلت مع ناس من جنسيات مختلفه موجودين هنا في استراليا، وسالناهم عن تكاليف المعيشه في استراليا، سالناهم على مرتبات في استراليا، وسالناهم كمان لو ناس جايه استراليا جديد محتاجين يجيبوا معاهم فلوس قد ايه، سواء جاي لوحدك او معاك اسرتك. الحقيقه يا جماعه احنا عملنا الكلام ده قبل كده مع المصريين اللي موجودين في استراليا، لكن انا قلت ليه ما نشوفش الجنسيات الثانيه والجنسيات الاجنبيه اللي عايشين في استراليا. هنتكلم النهارده مع ناس من اوروبا، من امريكا الجنوبيه، من اسيا، من حتت كتير جدا، عايشين في مدن مختلفه، في سيدني، في ملبورن، في بريسبن. هيدونا فكره عامه على التكاليف المعيشه في استراليا والمرتبات والفلوس اللي تجيبها معاك وانت جاي، سواء معاك اسره او جاي لوحدك. لكن خلونا قبل ما نبدا في موضوعنا النهارده يا جماعه افكركم ان الناس اللي ممكن تتعاونوا معاهم في مشوار الهجره بتاعكم موجودين في الديسكربشن بتاع الفيديو. وكيل هجره معتمد في استراليا، مكان لعمل امتحان البي تي اي بتاع الانجليزي والترجمه بتاع الناتي، كمان مكان لمعادله المهندسين ومعادله الصيادله. ويلا بينا نبدا في موضوعنا يا جماعه عن تكاليف المعيشه والمرتبات في استراليا. Hey, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
What's your name?
My name is Sylvia.
My name is Nao.
My name is Santiago.
I'm Michaela.
Where are you from now?
I'm from Japan.
I'm from Argentina.
Argentina, great.
I'm originally Italian, but I grew up in Europe in a few different countries.
I'm from Ireland.
How long have you been living in Australia for?
I have been living in Australia almost 6 years.
Been in Australia for 7 years.
I've been in Australia for 15 months, so almost a year and a half.
So I'll be living in Australia 4 years now come May.
Where in Australia are you living?
I live in Brisbane.
So today, and since the day we arrived, we have been living in Sydney.
I'm living in Sydney in the eastern suburbs.
Ah, cool. Very nice. And you're living in Sydney?
In Sydney, yes.
My name is Kamal, and we're doing a video. We're just trying to help people who are preparing to migrate to Australia.
Yeah.
Want to give them an idea about the living expenses in Australia. I'm getting the opinions of people from different backgrounds about how much do they expect to spend per month when they come in, what salaries to expect when they first come in, and also to know how much money do they need to bring with them, what's the expected living expenses and so on.
Okay.
Do you want to participate with us?
Yeah, sure, I'll give it a go.
Thank you. Let's start with the first question. So yeah, I would like to start with the first question is about how much do you reckon someone who is living in Brisbane, let's take Brisbane as an example, how much would someone living in Brisbane spend per month if he or she coming on their own or coming as a family, say family of 4?
In terms of expenditure, I'd probably say a lot of it will go to rent.
Right.
So I think it really depends where they choose to live.
Yep.
If you're going to be a bit more central, it's going to be a bit pricier than maybe if you live in the suburbs. So I live with my partner, so we share an accommodation together. So I'd say probably our biggest expenditure would be on rent. And I think
Okay, so I cannot answer for family of 4, but for one person, I don't know how much exactly, but let's say if you are young and if you are living in a share house where people living more than 3 people are living together, your rent is going to be, let's say, $300 per week, or it could be a little bit cheaper, but that's the rent. So you need roughly $1,000, $1,200.
Based on prices today, like if you will be coming alone and living in Sydney, I think you should expect to be earning between $5,000 to $6,000 after taxes. Could be less if you're willing to flex on accommodation or share a house with someone else.
Very subjective question. I'll base it on living on your own because that's my experience so far.
Yeah.
So based in the eastern suburbs, rent can be very high.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's based location wise. So say if you're living in a 2-bed apartment and sharing with one other person, you'd be looking at maybe a total rental price of $3,200 per month. So that divided in 2. So say $1,800 a month per person.
Right, so $300 per week, that's if you're in a shared accommodation.
Yes.
And how many people in the shared accommodation? Like
More than 3 people. If 2 people, if just 2 people, it's going to be more than $300 per week.
And for a family, let's say of 4, like with both of the parents working, I think between $7,000 and $8,000 per month would be a good value to be at.
So that's in terms of expected income, right?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. So we said that for someone on his own, if he earns $5,000 to $6,000
Yeah.
per month, that's equivalent to probably $80,000 to $90,000 per year before taxes.
Yes.
If it is a family, then it would be how much? 7,000 to 8,000.
7 to 8. Yeah.
7,000 to 8,000, which is equivalent to around probably 115, 120 to 130K per year.
To be fair, I haven't myself lived in a studio or a one bed. We're in a 2-bed.
Right. Okay.
But I think from speaking to different friends who live in different places, I think you can spend anywhere from, let's say, $500, $1,500 a week.
Right. Okay.
But obviously
that's a big range.
That's quite a big range. Yeah. So I think that will depend also.
$2,200 to $2,300 a month for rent.
Yeah.
Right. So what about the rest of the expenses?
I think groceries, like monthly expenses, like for the family of 4. I feel more related to the family of 4 because it's closer to my current situation. I think like $800 to $1,000 per month.
Right.
Could be cheaper than that, I think. Yeah. And for someone living alone in a shared accommodation, I think you can cut that in half, like 400, 5.
And then other ancillary
petrol for cars,
transportation.
Petrol, I think you can keep it like pretty cheap, like I would say $300 per month, perhaps a little bit more on petrol, going out, having fun, depends on the lifestyle you will have. We save quite some money on that because we don't go out very often. I would say, yeah, perhaps $100 per week, $400 a month.
So your necessities such as your groceries would usually, for myself, would be around maybe $70, $80 per week. So let's say up to $300 a month, which
sounds good.
Yeah, is okay. Then if I wanted to factor in such leisure centres or gyms, that would be maybe about $150 a month. And then if you have your electricity or Wi-Fi, you could be looking at maybe another $150 a month as well. Then when it comes to outings and social activities, again, this maybe depends on the person.
If we're talking about a family of 4, maybe they're staying in 2-bedroom apartments and spending a little bit more in outings and groceries and so on. So how much do you reckon they would spend per month?
Perhaps at least an extra $3,000 on top of that when you consider things like bigger bills, more family to feed, daycare, and family expenses that I personally don't have at the moment. So yeah, an extra $3,000.
So we'll be looking $6,000 to $7,000.
Yes.
For a family of 4.
I would imagine so, yeah.
For a couple, that adds up to probably $4,000 to $5,000 a month for a couple to live in Sydney.
Perhaps, yeah. As in, I think it really depends on where you go, but let's use those as proxy numbers. Yeah.
Okay, so if you don't go out much, eat out, just buy food from supermarket and then going for commute and then a little bit of going away. Bare minimum $500. But if you go out one night, it's at least $100. I think for dinner, for drinks, and an Uber.
All in all, if we say, like, for example, for a single person, $2,000 to $2,500 for accommodation, and then another maybe $1,000, $1,500. For the rest. So that's around $4,000. For one person. And for a family of 4, we'll probably add another $1,000, $1,500. On top of that, so that's probably $5,000 to $6,000. For a family of 4.
How far are we from the initial number we gave? Like pretty close.
I think pretty close. Like
perhaps saving some money.
Based on your initial numbers, you will be able to save like probably $1,000 a month, which is not bad.
Okay, that's good.
That's good.
Maybe groceries per day, let's say maybe $30 a day.
Right.
So a month that would be, let's say
$1,500 a month. So that's for everything or just for groceries?
I'd probably say just for groceries, but then if you're eating out, you might not need those groceries. So yeah, let's say maybe $1,500 to $2,000 a month for kind of going out and groceries.
That's for a household of 2?
Yes.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So let's call it $2,000 a month.
That's a number.
And then on top of that, to $3,000 in rent?
Yes.
All up, how much did we say? So we said for rent will be $1,800 to if shared accommodation, $2,600 on your own, and then groceries and the rest of living expenses, shall we say, like probably 2 grands.
Yeah, around there.
2 grands.
Yeah.
So yeah, so for shared accommodation, you'll be looking at under 4,000, and if you're living on your own, would probably be 4.5
Correct.
grands. If we say, for example, like what's the salary per month or per year that person or a family would be living an okay living, not very comfortable, but okay living when they first move to Australia? So what should they expect?
Okay living.
Yeah, okay living, not lavish,
Comfortable.
reasonable.
Let's say for one person, maybe at least, I don't know, 90,000 to 100,000.
$90,000 to $100,000. Okay, so $90,000 to $100,000, that equates to around 6 to 6.5 grand per month after taxes.
Yeah.
So yeah, cool. And this is for one person. What about a family?
No idea.
Okay, sounds good.
But I think obviously, you know, Sydney again has a lot of variety in terms of where you could live if you want to spend more or less. It's tough
Cool.
to answer.
Tough one. Right.
Do you have any stats on like what the national
Yeah, I'll tell
average
you,
would be?
Yeah,
Like, I'm curious.
I'll tell you the national average in 2025. I did a quick ChatGPT search. The average salary in Australia is 104,000
Okay.
a year. So that's equivalent to an after-tax per month around $6,500 a month.
Yeah.
That's the national average.
Yeah.
Obviously, someone who's moving recently might not get a job at this
Straight away.
level.
Yeah.
So might start a little bit lower than
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
But then as you get like local experience and stuff like that,
Yes.
you'll go up the ladder. And also it depends on your profession as well. Like
To live an okay lifestyle, maybe 85,000 to 90,000,
right,
with an ambition to climb.
to grow further.
Yeah, so maybe starting on that 6 months or so, and that would fit you through them first few months and hopefully have a bit more down the line.
So from memory, like if you convert this to an after-tax figure, would be like 90,000 would be probably $5,500 to $5,700, give or take, per month after taxes.
Yes,
That's for a person on their own or a family?
on their own, 100%.
On their own. Right, yeah. For a family, it would be a little bit higher, right?
Yes.
The last question is about how much do they need to bring with them when they first come to Australia, until like they settle down, find a job, maybe do a bit of casual work until they find a job in their career and stuff like that.
Great question, difficult question. I think clearly it's very different from a person coming alone or a family. And I would also say it depends on how risk averse you are and how willing you are to do casual jobs. Like many people perhaps they are not casual. But look, I think to keep it safe, I would come with enough money to be able to last like 6 months without having to work, not to be in a rush. So I think, for a person coming alone, perhaps it's like 20,000 Australian dollars to last those 6 months. And for a family, double than that, or not even, like $35,000.
Okay, so
I think that should be safe and not have to be in a rush to accept the first job offer you have. But look, my experience of Australia is that if you come with the right attitude, willingness to work, opportunities pop up.
how much money do they need to bring with them when they first arrive? And in order to settle down and fund their living until they find a job?
Okay, so that's a difficult question. I cannot say how much, but problem we have in Brisbane is rental property shortage. So until you find your own home, we don't know how long it takes.
Right.
And then to rent a property, we need a reference.
Yes.
And for a new person, it's hard to get reference.
Correct.
So the problem is we don't know how long it takes for the people to find apartment, the proper apartment.
And also how long will it take to find a job, right?
Yeah. So I think during that time accommodation, if you are willing to live somewhere cheap, that's good. But if you want to live in Airbnb or more comfortable, it takes so much money.
So let's say how many months of expenses do they need to bring with them?
At least 6 months, just in case. In case.
I think you would need to come with a little safety pool.
Yeah.
So again, I know some people might make the decision to come quite quickly and might not have a long time to save, but I would say up to 3 months living expenses. So to cover the minimum, such as your rent, your food bill, energy, and whatever else is tied into that.
Right.
And that's not factoring in big social events or outings, but
Gotcha.
just enough for your daily lifestyle.
So 3 months worth of expenses.
I would say maybe like anywhere from 3 to 6 months of salary, just to make sure that you have enough where you're not feeling also worried or concerned. But also because unfortunately there are quite a lot of those upfront big costs.
Yeah.
I think again it's very dependent on people's situation, where they're coming from. But it's always good to have a buffer when you're moving to a new country, because you never know how long things will take. I think especially the Sydney housing market is quite notorious for being a bit tricky to find a place. We definitely had to apply to quite a few different places before we moved in. So yeah, it's always good to have an extra buffer rather than feeling like you're struggling or scrambling.
Sounds good. So yeah, 3 to 6 months. We're looking at $15,000 to $30,000 Australian dollars when you move in, and that's for a family of 2. Right? If your household is slightly bigger, then you need to account for that. To let our viewers know that you don't necessarily have to spend all this money, but this will just be with you as a buffer.
Yeah, it gives you some confidence and a safety net that you don't have to accept the first job offer you have.
Yeah.
And you can wait for the right opportunity for you or what you're looking for.
Sounds good. Thanks a lot, Santia. I'm sure a lot of people will benefit from this information. Thanks a lot, Sylvia.
Nice.
I'm sure this will be beneficial to a lot of people. في النهاية بتمنى تكونوا استفدتوا من الفيديو. لو عندكم أي أسئلة تانية عايزين تعرفوا آراء الناس عليها في استراليا، يا ريت تسيبوها لي في الكومنتات. ولو عايز تعرف آراء المصريين اللي عايشين في استراليا عن تكاليف المعيشة في استراليا والمرتبات في استراليا، هتلاقيها في الفيديو اللي هيطلع على الشاشة دلوقتي. سلام.